to transition pictures for Steve Irwin. Everybody apparently has heard of Steve Irwin. I never saw his TV shows ever on Animal Planet, but I do know he was on talk shows, he was in movies actually. I think he played a part in Happy Feet, the cartoon, and a million TV shows. The guy was so adored by so many people. I think they just saw authenticity there. A genuine enthusiasm for life and for wildlife. He was a zookeeper. He had his own zoo, Australia Zoo, outside Brisbane. I think he began wrestling crocodiles when he was 9 years old. Which strikes me as a really reckless thing to do, because if you're going to mess around with dangerous animals, there is a very, very high chance that down the road, one of these dangerous animals is going to attack you and possibly kill you. And that's what happened. He was making a documentary called, ironically, The Ocean's Deadliest, on the Great Barrier Reef. And there was a stingray there. And as he swam towards it, the stingray took its barb and stabbed him through the chest. They tried to get him to hospital, but he died on the way. He was age 44, I think. And the world mourned this guy. 44 years old, with so much left to give. So I did his pictures. When I found him, he was in this same environment I always see. Metaphorical cave. And he was irritated. But at the same time, kind of, what you'd say, compassionate? It didn't know. It's just a stingray. Maybe that's what it meant. Just a stingray. It didn't mean to kill me. It was just defending itself. Interestingly, the walls were wet with running water, which I thought initially I should disregard because it was a little too on the nose. It's like, oh yeah, okay, he died in the ocean. But he looked up and there was a hole. A hole that he could climb through. He could see a way out. But it was too high up. How do you reach that? He was very resourceful. I don't know anything about him as a man, but he seemed like one of those people who goes, okay, that now is our issue. What are we going to do? Very pragmatic. And as he watched, the hole closed and the water stopped coming down the walls. He didn't accept it. There must be another way. There's always another way. I can get out of this. You can figure this out. You can solve this. There was a little seat, and he went and sat on it, ruminating. What do I do? There's something. There is something I can do. But the more he looked around, and the more he thought about it, the more he realized, no. That was it. He got to his feet, and as he watched, a large tongue of pathway unrolled in front of him. Came out of the tunnel and just unfolded to his feet. When he stepped on it, it was a little hollow sounding, a bit like a stage set. So it was made of plywood or something, but it was a way to go. And he thought, aha, here is the answer. This is where I'm going to go, because this will be a way out. He walks along this pathway. It's a steep climb initially. And for such a great guy, and such an achiever, he looks so small, treading into the unknown. But he walked along this path. And as he did so, He could see at the end of it a light, but not the light that I always see. This was dazzling, dazzling light, and it aroused his curiosity. It was so blinding and so magnificent that he simply sat down, cross-legged, staring at it, amazed, full of wonder. This was his welcome committee, just for him. Again, it's a steep climb down. He has to slither as you would on gravel or something. He slithers down. And he stands in front of this blinding light. This is for me. All this is for me. But I just wanted to take care of animals. I remember a documentary about Charles Schulz. You know, the guy who did Peanuts. He used to sit every day at a drawing board and draw his little cartoon strips. And I think he contracted stomach cancer in the end, maybe. But when he was interviewed, after massive success, huge amounts of money, fame, popularity, he said, I just did my best. And that's what I felt about Steve Irwin. It was that humanity that I responded to so deeply. Not his achievements. I didn't watch his shows or anything. But his ultimate humility and his humanity. I just wanted to care for animals. That got me so deep. Now he felt the pull. He had to go into the light. This was his escape. You know that carol, "O come all you faithful"? Sing choirs of angels, sing in exultation. The blast of exultation I felt as this guy stepped forward. It was like a full orchestra. The Mormon Tabernacle Choir. A 22-gun salute. Just for this guy who cared for animals so much. It gives me chills even now. Think about it. It was magnificent. And he stepped into it and vanished. My mother used to say, God loves a trier. Somebody who tries, who gives their all, who does their best every step of the way. Yeah, they may be flawed in 100 ways, like we all are. But when it comes to it, they go full out to participate and play their part. God loves a trier. And that's what I felt here. And it's that that moved me so much. Yes, it was a tragedy that he died at 44. But in the spiritual world, age is of no significance. It's what you did. It's how much you loved. How much humility you showed. How much generosity and gratitude you showed. What your contribution was when you were given the chance. I was blown away. That's what matters. that was Steve Irwin. Gives me chills even now. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, share if you would. Follow me on Twitter @CashPeters. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.